Greetings, everyone. Welcome in this new live dedicated to Mongolia and its culture, its music, its traditions. So I hope you had a great week. I hope that everything is good, that your motherhood is ringing super good, and that you learn a lot of things. So I will get directly into few questions that came from Discord this week. There is not too many Discord questions, so I will improvise a little bit after the few questions to talk about the Discord community, explain a little bit the few change that I've been making during the last last 2 weeks. And if there is time, I will get into some motherhood music. Hello, Magne. Thanks for joining. So I will get to the first question directly. It's actually a question that I didn't answer totally in the last live question that was asked by RingIndex. And he asked during election how people in the countryside votes. So actually I asked to some of my countryside friends and people that live in the countryside to ask how it was going during the election. So actually in Mongolia, as you might know, there is 21 emak, so 21 province. Each province are divided in sum, so that's kind of like a province in the province. And then each are again divided in what we call bak. So it's kind of like a group or maybe not a small town, but that's kind of like an area where there might be a few hundred people or 50, 100 or 200 people. So actually during the election, if people are not in Sum or in the capital of the province, they will actually go in the center of the back, and they will go there to vote, basically. So it's kind of like you have a province in the province, and the capital of the province will be used to vote for the people that are in the deep countryside. So usually these part in the deep countryside are kind of close to most of the herder. So maximum, from what the people I asked answered me, the maximum might be maybe Malchin or herder might have to go for 10, 15 or 20 kilometer or something maximum to be able to vote. So that's kind of how it goes. Of course, as it's Mongolia, as it's the land of the white steppe, of course, to vote, people need to ride a lot of kilometers to get to the place for the voting. So I hope that it answers the question, that it's a little bit more clear. Last time I wasn't sure exactly how it was working. So actually, maybe some might ask for the post for sending things to the countryside or sending things to the family in the countryside or so on. Actually, the post office kind of work the same way. So it's like the country divided in province, divided in sum, divided in bak, and then that's kind of how it works. So that's for this very simple first question that I could not answer last time. Sorry about that. But now I hope that it gets answered correctly. So I can move to the second one that is coming from Ania. And that is also from the Discord server. She is asking, is it possible to find horse strings for the motherhood? So about the horse strings, I already talked about it a little bit. So it's possible to find horse strings for the motherhood. You need to know that it's around 10 times more expensive than the nylon one, around 8 to 10 times more expensive. And there is something that you need to know about the horse strings, the horsehair strings, sorry, is that usually to have a good result, to have a good sound, and to have a string that will ring correctly, that will go for a while and all that, you will need to braid the horsehair directly on the instrument with the pressure, with the tension. Sorry. So basically, if I take the instrument, the idea when we put the horsehair strings on the instrument is that first, of course, we count the horsehair, and then we're gonna comb them a lot to be sure that there is no, I would say, like no knots or no kind of like fake braiding or something inside the string. So this gonna take a little while. Once it's done, we will put the horsehair string inside the tail here and put the pressure, put the tension, and braid again. And this comb again. The combing is very, very, very important for the horsehair because they are not as elastic as the nylon. So as I explained in a previous live, for example, let's say that it's your horsehair string, it's your mother string. You know that the string of the mother is composed of many, many little hair. Either it's nylon or it's horsehair string. So of course, to have a right sound, each of these little hair need to have the same tension, kind of. If one is very strong, the other one are a little bit loose, and one is totally loose like that, then the one that is in tension will break. Those two will get the tension as you tune, and this one will always be kind of loose. So what the result of that is that this loose hair will actually kind of block the rest of the hair to ring. So the result is gonna be like your string gonna do this kind of sound. You will not have the sound that will get out. The thing is that with nylon, as the nylon is kind of some kind of plastic or so on, it's stretchable. So the fact that the nylon can be stretched a little bit, it's gonna compensate those little mistakes during the braiding, during the installation of the strings, and also then it's possible to prepare the string beforehand and then just put the string later. As it's kind of elastic a little bit, it can be stretched a little bit, even if it's not braided perfectly, even if it's not combed perfectly, it's still gonna work out somehow. The thing is that with the horsehair, hair are not that stretchable. The potential of elasticity, I would say, of the hair are not as good as the one of the nylon. So usually it's best to get the hair loose, not at all, not braided at all, not ready actually, just the hair, and then to put it directly the moment that you will change the strings. If it's not made like that, there is a lot of chance that the string is not gonna last for a long time. It's and the sound not gonna be that good. In my experience, I tried few times ready-made horsehair strings, and each time I was disappointed. Each time the sound was super bad. Each time there was like always this kind of like a wolf note, but inside the string. So it's super annoying, and even one time, and this time cost me a lot actually. I tried to get horse hair string from another person just to have a try, and actually the string like absolutely no sound. It was like crazy, and the horsehair string actually broke. The result was that the front side of my Morin Huur exploded, kind of. So that was super bad, kind of. So, oh, Sembeno, Ekaterina, and Hodlang, thanks for joining. Irsen Bayerla. So, hello, Björn. So yeah, for the horsehair string, it's possible you can get some. You can get some ready-made. If you're interested, I can find some for you and send it to you. But I'm not confident about the result at all. So hello, Du Mingjin. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. So that's for the horsehair strings. That's about like how it's made, how it's supposed to be put on the instrument, kind of the difficulty to have the right sound if it's kind of prepared horsehair. And then the second kind of thing about the horsehair strings is that it's much more complicated to it's more complicated to play actually. It requires a little bit more finesse in the playing, a little bit more of feelings, a little bit more of strength as well. So hello Eitao, thanks for joining. Well, we have people from Indonesia, from England. That's super cool. I'm very happy to be able to share this worldwide. So yeah, the horsehair strings gonna be more difficult to play, and also they are much more sensitive to the humidity, to the air, and so on. They last usually for a little bit less longer than nylon strings. So if you are in a dry country, you can try to get horsehair strings. But if you live in a country that is super humid, that has very frequent change of weather, like for example, now it's gonna be super wet, and tomorrow it's crazy dry, and the day after tomorrow it's pouring rain again. Then the humidity gonna get into the hair, and they will tend to break super fast. Also, they will lose the tuning much quicker. So basically, I use horsehair strings here because in Mongolia the climate is pretty dry. But each time I go in, I play in a yurt. I play in a place that they are, for example, steaming boats, or they are making steam for whatever they are cooking. My motor is like in pain, and I usually need to tune either even when I am playing. So in the middle of one song, I might need to tune one, two, three, four times because it's not gonna be stable. So as you might have seen in a previous episode of the Into the Motor, that's actually why this lack of stability in different environment. That is why the Motor evolved from having the horsehair to the nylon, and also from having the skin front to the wooden front. So, so depending on where you live, you can give a try. You can try, or you can either eventually, yeah, no, maybe not buy horsehair from a violin maker because the hair gonna be too short. But yeah, I can eventually send you the horsehair directly, cleaned, and then you can try to braid yourself eventually. But to be honest, that's super tricky. Or I can eventually get some ready-made horsehair strings and send it to you with a nylon string, just in case the horsehair is not that good. And then you can try yourself to put the horsehair, see how it goes, see the difference in touch, in feeling, if it's indeed harder to play, or if it's a little bit easier, or whatever you think. So that's kind of it about the horsehair strings. The thing that you need to know about the different kind of how to put it, how to use it, the difficulty and things about the playing, and so on, the sensitivity of the strings and so on. So I hope that I covered the subject as good as I could. I hope it was satisfying and that it answered the question. So I can move to the third and last actually question from the Discord, which is coming from Bjorn. I think Bjorn is here also. He's asking how much important is it to keep your nail longer on your left hand when playing the Morin Huur? I ask because I also play other instruments that kind of require shorter nails as well. So I guess that you are also playing kind of guitar, tofshur or doshpurur instrument. So about the nail, so you can maybe see for mine, those two are a little bit long. So indeed, having longer nail will be very helpful to put stability, on your playing, to put stability on finding the right angle, also the right angle of pressure on the string. So definitely that's a big help. And another thing is that it's also gonna influence the sound, for example, of the horse gallop, of mostly of the horse gallop actually. For example, you will have with the nail. If you don't have the nail, you will not have this like pock 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 pock, which is exactly kind of the sound of I have the word in Mongolian, tore, the hoof. Yeah, I think it's the hoof of the horse. So it's actually influenced the sound directly. So with the nail, you will be able to have a sound that is closer to a real horse gallop sound. If you don't have it, it's gonna be a little bit softer. You will not have this very sharp attack on the sound. Eos, sorry. So that's kind of a little bit important to have these nails. What you can do is kind of find, for me, as you can see, they are pretty long, but you might be able to find kind of like a middle ground between having nail as long as that and also having as short as possible, so it's not gonna, I would say, impact your banjo playing. I just saw that you are playing banjo. So so yeah, this is a very sensitive also choice to do, especially. So yeah, I'm just reading. Yeah, I play banjo. If the nails are a bit too long, then the string can accidentally touch. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been playing guitar. I played guitar before, and now when I want to play the guitar, it's not possible. I mean, that it's too long, and it's kind of like break with the fret of the guitar, and even I cannot even push the string correctly on the neck of the guitar. So so yeah, that's a little bit annoying to have this long hair. Mine are also very long. It was very hard to get used to. Yeah, it's like it's kind of in the beginning. It's like, damn, I'm like a woman. I have like a girl nail. So yeah, it's like for me now I feel naked when I don't have these two nails, you know. So they are very important for the metal playing, and they will help a lot to get stability when you play with all the slides and all that. If you don't have them, you might just like slide on the you will slide on the string. You will not hit it directly. Also, it helps like make the vibration of the string grip with the bow as well. So as you kind of like with the nail, you have this ability to kind of attack very sharply the string, and sometimes it's also taking a little bit of pressure on the side of the nail. It's also kind of working as a fret on the string, which also help you to have the string ring directly on the note. It's not gonna whistle or so it. These nails are seriously helping a lot. So yeah, and yeah, what you said, I was actually thinking about it. You could actually play reversed, so playing the neck of the motherhood with your right hand. So you will have a long nail on the right hand, and you could use them for picking on the banjo. So that's something that you might be able to do. But then you would need a left-handed motherhood. So yeah, I don't know. But you can find a middle ground. I think you don't need to have the nail that long. They just need to be a little bit longer so they can give you a stability. And once you find your size, kind of, you find the size of your nail, then you will get used to it, and then it's just gonna work. It's just gonna work, you know. So yeah, I think that's it about the nails. For me, I kind of gave up playing anything else, like seriously. I'm playing the metaphor seriously. I mean, as seriously as I can. But when it comes to other instruments, like for example the guitar and all that, I don't play them that much. And the tafshur, to play this satsal tafshur, actually the nail are not really that impacting that much because it's only two strings also. So it's kind of fine. And actually, are reversed metaphor built differently? Yeah, they are. You cannot just reverse the strings actually. So if I take the example of this instrument, um, so basically the way the box is made. So this is a right-handed instrument. um, I don't know if you can, maybe I can show. Yeah, here, okay, here you see inside there is a stick, which is the sound post, and the sound post is on this side, okay? Then on the other side, I don't know if you can see that well, but there is a tuning wood that comes on all the way, kind of. And if you just reverse the hair, the way the instrument is gonna be tuned, it's gonna be actually now it's the fa and the si bemol. So if you put si and fa, those two things inside the sound post and the tuning wood should also be reversed, because if it's not, then you will have a very unbalanced instrument. The sound is not gonna be 50-50, it's gonna be maybe 30-30 or 30-20, and you will have a lot, you might have a lot of wolf notes. So definitely the inside of the instrument is built totally differently if it's like a right-handed or a left-handed motherhor. Just reversing the strings is not gonna work. Also, if you simply reverse the string, you're gonna put way too much pressure on the wrong side of the front. So if you have a wooden instrument, you might just end up having, for example, that's your front, and it's gonna bend like that, and eventually you might even break the front on the area of the F hole after a while, because the pressure it's not gonna be built to withstand this pressure. It was supposed to be on the opposite. So if you want to actually reverse the instrument, then you need to buy a left-handed instrument if you want to play the opposite way. Actually, there is someone on the Discord that had this issue. So eventually, you can ask on the Discord, and he will share his experience, because he asked actually specifically a left-handed instrument, and he received a right-handed one, and it kind of ended up a little bit in a mess. So we had to, I sent him another instrument. So yeah, you can ask about that. So I think that's it for the Discord questions. Sorry. So now I would like to share a little bit about the Discord community, the Discord server that now we have been using since May. We almost reaching 200 person on the server. There is a lot of sharing, a lot of cultural sharing, a lot of different question and answers about the Morin Huur and about different topics. So I've been recently changing a little bit the structure. I added a poll, which is a little bit for the fun, to be honest, but it's also kind of to have an idea of how people came on the server, why they are coming there, so I can also focus a little bit more on different aspects of what I am sharing. There is actually how the Discord is structured. There is kind of a lot of different channels. So there is channels about the Morin Huur, about the Urtindo, about the Homi, the Bilge, history, the language, the Mongol Bichik, the calligraphy, the cultural, the overall culture, about the third epics. So it's kind of separated in different topics. So we can talk in the specific channel about only the Morin Huur and switch to another channel to talk about only the Urtindo and so on. And there is general channels to talk about everything, about any topics and so on. There is also sharing of different kind of music, not just Mongolian, but traditional music around the world. We had Magne that really shared a lot of Ukrainian music for a while. That was like super awesome. There was like Indian music, Pakistan, and different kind of things. So that was like definitely super interesting. And in the community, we also have few scholar, few researcher, which shared very interesting information about different topics, a lot about the throat singing, about the Homi. So if you're not on the Discord yet, definitely join us there. There is a lot going on, and I hope that there will be even more in the future. So if you're not there yet, you can find the link, the invitation link in the description. And also about the Discord, I want to add that there is private section that you can access if you make a subscription on my website. And it also relates to the question that a lot of person are asking me, and it is if I give online private lessons. So about that, I used to do it, and I actually kind of stopped. The reason is that a lot of people want to take private lesson, and they usually take just few, maybe 4, 5, or 6, or maybe 8, or basically usually a lot of people are not reaching even the 10th lesson. So for me, that's a little bit frustrating, because I just keep teaching the same thing over and over and over again. So what I want is to go deeper, to teach more interesting things, not just how to hold the bow or these kind of things. That's also the reason why I started to make this into the Morin Huur videos again, but now much more accurate, much more precise, with more information and all that. So I'm not too much interested into private lesson, because I repeat myself from one student to another one, and usually it doesn't really go up to a certain level. So basically it's going up, and then the person disappear, or just stop, or just want to do something else, and then I go back to the basic, and again another one, and so on. So it's not that super interesting. And also a second reason why I kind of stopped doing private lesson physically and online, actually, it's that a lot of people are actually, a lot of person are actually doing whatever they want, and they are not listening to the advice. So that's also another point of frustration, to spend sometime 2, 3, 4 hours in a private lesson to explain things, and to see in the next lesson that the person is doing totally something totally different. Like those 3, 4 hours of explanation, of detailed explanation showing how it works and all that, and the person just do something else. That's also a little bit frustrating. So I kind of change the way of teaching, of sharing, with this private part on the Discord. My idea is that the person that really want to learn the Morin Huur, instead of paying for private lesson, which will end up more expensive than the subscription anyway, they can subscribe on the website, access to the private part of the Discord, and ask their specific questions. So, for example, about a specific song, about a specific way to play something, about whatever the question can be about their self-learning. And then on this private part, I will make a specific customized, personalized answer video that I will put privately on the YouTube, and that I will share on that private part of Morin learning on the Discord. Then there is all the previous question from all the subscriber on this private part. So usually the basic questions are usually the same from one person to another one. So the person that asked the question first, I will give the answer, and then the next person can just check that same videos, because it also answer the same questions. So it's a little bit more efficient, in my opinion. For me, it's I just make the answer once, and it can answer more person at the same time. So that's kind of why I changed my way of sharing, of teaching, and making this private part on the Discord. So yeah, I think about the Discord, that's kind of like what I wanted to share about that. So yeah, the private post for subscriber, private lesson. Oh yeah, and actually there is for the subscriber another bonus, kind of. It's like you can see the upcoming episode of the Into the Motherhood. You can see the script that I'm working on. I'm starting to put some translation that I've been working for a while now. So I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna put them freely, or if it's gonna be in the book, or I'm not sure yet. So for the subscriber, please keep those information, those translation for yourself for the time being. Soon I will find out how I will put all this translation. Although most I still need a little bit of tweak. So what I put on the Discord on the translation part, for now, it's not the 100% finished product. So you can have a look as a curiosity somehow, but please don't share it yet, because I'm not sure it's like 100% finished. So yeah, I think that's it for the Discord part. And as it's only been 30 minutes right now of the live, I was thinking that maybe I can play for you the Jonon Hariin Yawdal with the sorrowful urtindo, the melody that is played in the Frenchman Destroy on the Morin Huur or something like that. There is a guy who posted a video of me playing the Morin Huur and said the Frenchman destroys or something. So I was thinking that maybe I can play this song now for you and explain a little bit the idea behind each part of the melody. So I hope that it's an interesting idea for you. I will just have a bit of tea and play. Okay. So I hope that the sound is okay. Should I move? Okay. Oh, actually, there is a bit of. Oh, hey, Mev, how are you? Oh, there was a lot of chat going on. Let me check a little bit before starting. I forgot about the sound post. Yeah, the skin from a sound post. So yeah, about the Morin Huur, the skin front Morin Huur now has sound post indeed, and the tuning, kind of the tuning wood inside. We could see it when Steve showed the side of the instrument. I assume that the skin has really tight on the box. So yeah, the skin of the Morin Huur is pretty tight. It's yeah, it's kind of solid. Um, so it's actually a very kind of like complicated, not that complicated, but it takes 2 days to put the skin. The idea is that it needs to kind of like dry from the outside to the inside. So basically every half an hour, the inside need to be wet. You need to put humidity in the middle of the skin, because as it's made like that, of course, the middle part will dry way faster than the side. So that's not what we want. We want the opposite, actually. So to really have the good tight skin on the box, we need to make sure that the outside will dry first and then the inside will dry afterward. So every half an hour, every 40 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on the hair and all that, need to check the skin, how it is. Okay, I need to put some water there. Need to put some water there. And also the thing is that, I don't know if you can see here, but this is a part of the skin that is very thin. And when it's very whitish, it means that the skin is a little bit more thicker. So it means that this part of the skin will dry super fast because it's thin, and this one will dry super slowly. So the skin need to dry in the same way. We cannot have this part super dry and this one still soaked in water. So we need to adjust the humidity on the strings, the humidity on the skin as it's drying, to be sure that the drying is going in a homogeneous way for the process. So it takes a while. It's like no sleep for a day or two, something like that. So yeah, actually, so Magne is asking how the skin is fixed on, attached on the wood. So it's glued like here. So there is like 1 centimeter or something of wood. So the wood, the side of the wood, as you can see here, it's like 1 centimeter of thickness. So it's glued there, so all around, and then on the side as well. And to be attached, actually, what we are using, it's like the caoutchouc of the elastic kind of the what is inside the tire of the bicycle. Then we tied it up like that. I think I did put some picture of it on the Discord. Maybe I could show the picture. That would be easier than to explain. So yeah, that's kind of like how it is. So yeah, one of the things I wanted to learn later was gone getting breakfast last 15 minutes. I hope I didn't miss too much. So Moktanjin, no, you didn't miss too much. Okay, so I think we are here. So Maurice joined as well. Thanks for joining, and Mev also is there. I'm very glad that you are here. So I don't know if I should like put the camera a little bit further, or if it's like fine like this. I don't know. Yeah. So I will play the It's not exactly the same version that is in the video, like Frenchman destroy something. It's a more traditional version, kind of. A little bit more meaningful version. So I will play that version, the version that I play now. I'm a little bit stressed. And then I will explain the different part, what's going on, why there is this and this and there a little bit. So kind of like an anatomy of the song. Yeah. Okay. So, as I was explaining before, with the horsehair strings, as you can see, the tuning changed during the melody. So definitely the explanation is shown by a concrete example, just like right now. So now I can explain a little bit of what's going on in this melody. So as you can see, there is like 5 parts. I hope that you can hear that. Oh, I can see that there is some comments, so maybe there is some questions. Okay, no. So as you can see, there is kind of like 5 parts in this big kind of piece, which we cannot really say Tatlaga because it's mixed with some different Tatlaga and some Urtendo. So basically the first part, this part, which is kind of slow, so the sorry. So this part is actually kind of representing, of course, a horse, but a horse in the Gobi Desert. So as we are in the desert, the ground is not rocky. It's not a solid ground, kind of. It's very, it's full of sand. So, so as it's full of sand, of course, the sound of the hoof that is touching the ground is not gonna be sharp as if it would be like a solid ground, or if it would be rocky. So as in this part, we are in the desert, that's also why it should not go super fast directly, because horse cannot gallop as fast on the sand that they can do on a solid ground. So it's basically the idea that we are kind of starting to gallop peacefully on the sound of the Gobi Desert. So this first part is kind of like, you can imagine that for me, what I picture is that I am riding a horse with my herd, kind of, and we're just starting to kind of not walking, not galloping, between like kind of like trotting, or a very slow gallop on the sand of the Gobi Desert. So that's kind of the idea behind this first part. Then comes this part is super cool. So the idea behind this little melody is that we are starting to ride a little bit more quickly, still in the Gobi Desert. But the idea is that in the Gobi there is a lot of wind. So actually when we are galloping, when we are on the horse and there is a lot of wind, the sound that goes there is like the whistle of the wind. So that's kind of this. So as we are galloping, there is like this whistle of the wind that is kind of echoing in the ear. So that's what this little part is kind of like expressing. This like da, 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 it's really like this wave of wind that is going on. Then we are kind of getting out of the Gobi Desert now in the second part. So the second part gonna be a little bit more quickly. So maybe we can imagine that we are in the area of Khenti, of the center, like the area of Ulaanbaatar, maybe the Khenti Hamak, this area. So horses also are a little bit faster in that area. So now we're gonna push the herd a little bit more quickly. So now definitely that's pretty obvious. We are galloping right now. Then after that, again, this idea of wind when we are here. So what I like to picture there, it's kind of as after this part, the Urtindo gonna start. I like to imagine that with the herd, first we were in the Gobi Desert, we were going kind of peacefully, then still in the Gobi, we start to rush a little bit, we start to gallop, then we get out of the Gobi Desert, we are now kind of in the center of Mongolia. So we are now rushing, kind of like galloping kind of super fast. And of course, it's been a while that we are kind of like galloping, moving, and so on. Of course, we are thirsty. So the idea here, in my opinion, what I like to picture is that with the herd, as it's slowing down gradually, we are kind of like running toward the river. And we're gonna stop at the river, and of course the horse will drink and have their water and so on. For me also, I can drink a little bit of water from being on the horse, or just, yeah, I can just stay on the horse and drink a bit, and then I can sing the Urtindo. So the Urtindo there that I played is Sarurtal, serene step. We can translate it like that. And it's kind of like talking about the beauty of the step, and also talking about, even though the step is beautiful, still need to be careful about what can be hidden either in the grass or in the mud or whatever. So the first is about the nature, and second side, it's about, even though a person is very pretty, even though a person looks super great, be always careful and pay attention of what their intention can be. So it's kind of like teaching about how to choose a lover, about how to choose a friend. So this Urtindo is about that. So I just played the first verse, so not the full, which is 3 verse, so 6 times the melody. I just played the first verse in 2 versions. So the first version is the normal kind of version, so with the full melody and so on. And the second version, it's kind of like, again, this windy idea. So as I use like these techniques. So it's a very soft touch, and in the second part, we are like kind of maybe in the first 2 lines there is not that many wind, So singing is pretty comfortable. And in the second version, maybe there is a lot of wind, and then when we are singing, again this wind is echoing in our ear. So, and also the thing that is interesting, I don't know if you know, but in Mongolia, when the horse are drinking, it's actually good to whistle like kind of whistling like that. I'm not an expert, but just to give you the idea. And actually, it makes the horse more relaxed, and they're gonna enjoy the water more, actually. So that's kind of a little ritual, also to satisfy and to give not really a good omen to the horse, but kind of to make them relax and so on. So this second part of the urtindo played kind of like a whistle. I like to think this way. Either there is a lot of wind, either I'm whistling for the horse so they can be comfortable while they are drinking the water and so on. So that's kind of the idea. And now we finish with the fifth part, the last part. So now that we kind of add the water we drank and so on, we can gallop again. And the idea now is that we are in the east of Mongolia, so maybe in Sukhbatr or close to Kachar, which is the area that have the fastest horse. So that's why this part is going at the octave. So again, uh, we are playing in that area because it's again showing that we are going super fast, and then the wind is whistling super high. So this idea is kind of like showing that now we are going at super top speed. And at the end, of course, we have like the neigh of the horse. And then the little finish. So that's kind of like the explanation. I mean, the explanation, that's kind of how I picture this piece. That's kind of my, not how to say, my compilation, kind of, because this piece is very personal. Each person, each Meruhorch gonna play this piece in a different way. Some plays with sarurtal in the middle, some play without any urtindo, just a part, just the qav, the part of the desert. Some play just the part of Rachar, of the Sukhbatar. Some mixed everything. Some play with Irten Zaskeonar in the middle. Some play with Idirchinchin. I saw it also with Idirchinchin Urtindo, which is about like the strength of being young and so on. So it's a very personal piece that every Meruhorch should kind of be able to play in their own manner. So I kind of made a mix of different parts that I personally like, and I kind of built this story behind it. So when I play, I'm not just playing do si do si do si re la fa. There is a story behind. I can almost imagine that now there is a rock going on, and then there is free flower, and then there is a tree side of the river, and eventually I can even imagine how many horse we have. 9 horse, and there is 2 they are brown, 2 Isabel, and all that. So it becomes very alive. It's not just playing few notes and all that. So that's kind of the story that I built behind the melody. So when I say I built, it's not my composition. Be careful about that. It's like the Mongolian traditional music. And the thing is that this piece, as well as Burhan Shahin Yawdal, which is the kind of the same idea, but for the camels. A lot of musicians, they do their own improvisation. They implement some stuff, some personal stuff. They kind of pick things from the bilge. They kind of pick things from other emak, other player, and make kind of their own personal half improvised in. So it's a very it's a very interesting piece because it's very open. There is not a specific way to play it. It's very personal. So that's my personal version. I hope that you liked it, that it was interesting. So now it's been an hour. Maybe next time I will play the camel version with also some explanation like that, like I did today. So maybe I can check. Oops. Maybe I can check a bit if there is some reaction or something about what just happened. So do people play with the thumb on the high string sometime? Yeah, of course we can play with the thumb. As you can see, I play in the first part, in the gobi part, with the thumb, because usually that's how they play in the gobi, in the desert. And in the second part, I don't use it because also in the center of Mongolia, they are not using the thumb that much. So for example, a very famous player, which is called Nergui, come from Donrov, is actually playing a lot like that. So it's super cool playing style actually. So yeah, that also what I recognize with the thumb. Never paid attention to that before. So yeah, that's a very very nice way to play it. It's also give another feeling with the instrument. The touch is different. It's very intimate again. So yeah, that's I really like to use the thumb actually. That's super cool. Oh, hello Laura, how are you? Thanks for joining. It's interesting how the piece can tell a story like that. So yeah, I hope you liked it. Which piece sound the most sorrowful? Perhaps a piece that would be played during difficult times in life. From Moktanjin. Actually, the Onchin Batok, which is the piece played with the camel version of kind of like this big piece, is like extremely sad. And Jaran Sharak also is like, it's so sad that it's forbidden to be played in any celebration. So as maybe some of you might have seen the videos that I shared previously, a few years ago, I talked a bit about this Jaran Sharak Urtindo. And yeah, it's like super sad. The story is super hardcore. There is 20 verse. And yeah, it's like very, very sad. So yeah, I think that for me, the two Urtindo that are the saddest are Jaran Sharak and Onchin Batok. The melody is crazy sad and the meaning is like depressing almost. Just to give a little heads up about the meaning of those two Urtindo. Basically, in Jaran Sharak, there is a couple. And one guy, the guy and the woman are supposed, they are destined to each other. They've been together since childhood, and it comes the time where they can be married because they come at adult age. So they are very excited. They are ready to have their own home, to create their family and all that. But unfortunately, there is a guy, a rich. So there is a many way to understand, but whatever, there is a foreign guy that is coming in the story. Foreign, that means it can be from another area of Mongolia, it can be from China, from Inner Mongolia. There is again different way to interpret the lyrics. And that guy will steal the woman, and he will go far. So the thing is that that guy, which was destined to this woman, he has a family. He needs to take care of his parents, of his grandparents. He has a lot of work. He needs to take care of the animals. And if he goes away chasing that woman, maybe his family just gonna die because the work is not gonna get down. They might lose their animals and all that. So he has a very huge responsibility to his family. So he cannot go just chase the girl. So basically, they are separated forever. They will never meet again. So it's like incredibly depressing. So yeah, that's the first Urtindo Jahan Charak, which kind of talk about that. And the second, which is on Chinsara Bator, it's about a baby camel. Again, there is multiple version and there is different interpretation possible of this song. It's a baby camel that lost his mother. So the reason is that there is one reason she was eaten by a wolf. Another version was that the herder had to give 1,000 kind of like white camel to a prince, and he had only 999. So the last one, he had to give his white female camel. So the baby camel become without a mother, and this baby camel is very sad. Is longing for the milk. Is hungry. He does no one take care of him, and he's very lonely and all that. So it's kind of like 16 verse also of pure depression and pure missing the mother. So those two Urtindo are incredibly sad, but they're also very very beautiful, and they have very deep philosophy behind. Usually, most of the now it's going to take a while again. Basically, most of the Urtindo, most of the long songs that are super sad, usually a man that is brokenhearted, a woman that cannot live with her destined husband, or animals that get separated and all that. Usually the deep meaning, the deep philosophy that is behind is to accept the right now moment. It's like we cannot change the rules as there is in Tombo Turete Huren Urtindo. There is that verse that is saying, as we cannot twist the antlers of an antelope, we cannot change, we cannot bend the rules of the universe. So that's super deep. But basically, most of the Urtindo that are kind of depressing, that are brokenhearting, they usually have super strong life philosophy hidden behind it, and that's also why in celebration moment we usually don't sing. We are not singing this song in the opening, because the opening is about bringing good omen. It's not about teaching people super crazy morality or stuff like that. It's more like to really give the good vibe. So usually these songs are forbidden to be sang during celebrations, during celebration openings, whatever the celebration, if it's like a branding horse, if it's like cutting the first hair of the kids, if it's a wedding, a new home, there is so many different celebrations. So usually those Urtindo, those long songs are kind of forbidden to be sang. So I hope that it answers the question. I went a little bit wild on this answer, but yeah, that's really my love. So I'm very passionate about the subject. So yeah, I hope that it answered the question. So if anyone have a last question for this live, well, feel free to ask, and if not, I think that we will finish. Yeah, that's well, there is two way to see. Moktanjin is saying thank you, and that's on really side, but that's very interesting. That's definitely super interesting. The thing is that it's gonna, the moral, the philosophy will imprint better in the mind of a person if it's like super dramatic. If it's just a random story, if it's not too hardcore, or if it's not too down or something, then people might not remember the philosophy. So it's really like touching the mind super strongly. So the idea, this philosophy is kind of like printed forever in the mind of the person that would listen, that would read these songs. So that's why it's kind of like a little bit maybe extreme in a way, but it's very poetic. The lyrics are like incredibly beautiful. So yeah, but that, I mean, I've been reading a lot of Urtindo. Those two are like seriously super sad. In other Urtindo, there is also this kind of like man that love a woman, but the woman doesn't pay attention to him or something. But it's sometimes shorter song, so the feeling doesn't get as down, even though it's a little bit um, broken hearting. It's not too hardcore in a way. But the thing is that Jaran Charak and Onchin Sangabotor, they are both more than 15 verse. So there is a lot of comparison, there is a lot of detail, there is a lot of metaphor and all that. So it's kind of like not really repeating the same idea, but it's really developed. So that's why those two are maybe, in my opinion, more like, I would say, more sad, I would say, than a long song that is only 5 verse. The story cannot be developed, of course, as much as a long song that is like 20 verse. So I guess that's why. Yeah, of course, Magne. Actually, I just put Jaran Charak in the private version of the Discord today with this English translation and explanation, so you can have a look on it. And as I was saying in the beginning of the live, I will share in the private section of the Discord some of the translation that I made also with the help of Laura, which is here and which is also on the Discord. She helped me with the composition, with the style of the English words and all that, because of course I'm not an English native. I'm not a native English speaker. So she helped me for almost 2 years, I think, like 1 year and a half. I think 1 year and a half or 2 years or something like that, to adjust, to tweak all those long songs. So there is around 35 pieces. So the version that is on the private section of the Discord is almost a finished one, maybe 99%, but not sure yet. So keep it for yourself for now. And gradually, with time, when I will be sure that it's totally correct, the meaning and everything, when I will be 100% sure, it's gonna be on my website anyway, or it's gonna be in the book that I will try to print as soon as I can. So yeah, just about these texts. And Bjorn is asking, and I think it's gonna be the last question, will these songs be in future episodes? So are you asking in episodes of live episodes, or in the Into the Murder show, as like I'm gonna teach them? Which of the two, if Bjorn is still with us? Well, I guess that basically, for the Urtindo, I definitely want to make one episode per Urtindo. The idea that I have for the Into the Murhur is that for the Urtindo, once I'm sure, once I have the translation, once I have the explanation, once I annoyed enough scientists, singer, linguistic and all that, and that I have the right meaning, the right story and everything in English, and that the song is translated right, then I will make Into the Murhur episode specifically for that Urtindo, saying if it's like Shastir, Gur, Tsar, Bisrek, Edzam, Urtindo, giving detail, explaining the story, and then put the lyrics, put the translation, the explanation, kind of like one episode would be a kind of like a knowledge package for one song. So basically what I want to do is to do that for every urtindo. So there is like thousands of millions of urtindo. So I don't know how I will manage that, but I have almost like 15 urtindo that are kind of ready. Also, the thing is that I need to learn a specific version of the urtindo. So this also takes a bit of time, but yeah, definitely I'm really willing to develop this urtindo knowledge and share more. So that's also why now, as you might all know, I've been starting like almost 3 weeks ago to share one urtindo per day. We are almost at 20 videos, and there is, I think that a third of the urtindo I've been sharing are not on YouTube, are not on internet. That's things that I got from archive, that I got from personal person and stuff. So definitely I'm starting on that, and the next step is indeed to teach, not to teach, sorry, to share the translated version, to share the full lyrics. So actually, now that I'm in the master degree, I have access to more archive, to more knowledgeable people. So I'm actually kind of rechecking all the things that I already translated. So Laura, if you are here, I'm pretty sure that you are like face palming yourself because we spent so much time already on those 35 pieces. But the thing is that I now got access to incredible scholars. So I'm kind of gonna recheck for the fifth or sixth time each of the piece we already translated. It should be fine. But once I'm really sure of what I have, the content, the translation, the meanings, then I will start to spread and share it as much as yeah, yeah. I can imagine you laughing and face palming like, oh my god, he's crazy. So yeah, I like to. There is a big responsibility to share this knowledge and to share it as correctly, as accurately as possible, because unfortunately, there is a lot of mistakes, a lot of misunderstanding when the Mongolian culture is being shared. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you are aware of this kind of political issues that there is with the throat singing. With the origin of the Mongols and all that, so it's a very messy in a way, and we don't really know what is what sometimes. So when it comes to urtindo, at least that's the subject that I wish to spread. I really want to be, of course we cannot really be sure 100%, but if I can be at least 95% sure of what I am spreading and sharing, then that's pretty good. So that's why it takes a little bit of time. And as you know, I'm doing a lot of things in parallel. So yeah, again, I've been super developing my answer for Björn. I hope that it answers the questions, and also to talk about the into the Morin Huur. There will be also Bilge Tatlaga, which I am right now studying, researching, trying, as I explain right now, just before this Jonon Yawdal with the Sarultar, the story behind the Gobi and all that. I want to have this understanding for each piece that I play. If I don't understand as deep as that, I'm not playing the piece at all. So yeah, that's why things are taking time. Sometimes I need to go on the place directly to really understand what is going on, to feel the energy there and all that. So the thing is that when I share something, usually it's pretty accurate. If I'm not sharing that, it means that I'm not sure 100%, and that I still have things that I need to triple or quadruple check. So yeah, I hope that it answers the question. I really do my best to share as much as I can. thing is that doing everyday urtindo video, doing the script for the Into the Morin Huur, filming, editing, building the videos, working on the book, doing my master degree, researching, having private class, trying to find money to survive, managing the Discord. I mean, there is like dozen of things going on at the same time. So I really do what I can, and I'm really passionate. So I'm not gonna let you down for sure. Just bear with me. Things takes a lot of time, and to bring quality, yeah, there is no magic. Needs to check, ask around, go visit the place, talk with the people, and read dozen of stuff, of books, of archive and all that. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, so is there any new things on the chat? On the chat? No, I think there is not. And as it's we just broke the live record today with 1 hour and 25 minutes. So I think that's it for today. As usual, feel free to share, to like, to join us on Discord. Definitely things are getting lively there. And I hope you liked this episode, this live. I hope that it was interesting, that you enjoyed. And until next time, see you next week. And may the blessing of the eternal blue sky be upon you. Bye bye.